Good day to you. If I were to ask you, is it well with your soul? How would you think? What would that mean? Am I feeling okay? Is my credit balance okay? Are my relationships okay? Am I well accepted? So if I ask you, is it well? You will consider the things that normally bespeak wellness, health, prosperity, and so on. I want to read this little passage from Psalm 139:14. I will give thanks to you, for I am reverently and wonderfully made, with reverence and wonder, knowing God's dignity and knowing God's more. That's how we are made. Wonderful are your works. That's how we think whatever God has for us will surprise us. He will do more than what we think or ask. That's the way of God. That's why every child feels his wonder. First step is a wonder. Trying to run and fall is a wonder. Every little game is a wonder. That's how every little song is a wonder. And then, wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. My question is, when was it that last, the first time your soul said it is not very well? When did that little fellow, bouncy and smiling, turn out to be a crotchety, grumpy, fault-finding, ungrateful chap? You remember in younger days, he was so smiling, so nice, so helpful, so loving, giving habu, giving hugs and asking for hugs. And when did it change? When he was morose, moody, saying stupid and other things. When did it change? There's a time when the change comes and my soul knows it's not that well. Parents are wise to observe that change. They are wiser to prevent such a change coming by introducing to the child the Good Shepherd, the Lord Jesus Christ. I was in a youth conference in Melbourne some time back. We had been invited by a dear friend there. And early morning I got up and I had to speak to about 80 youth, girls and boys together. Many were from a Sri Lankan origin, but there were Aussies also. And when I was getting up and getting ready, early hours of the morning, I suddenly saw what I have to say, a vision. It was like unfolding before my eyes. There was a swimming pool, and young people were swimming, keeping line and length. In a straight line they were swimming. After a while I found about half of them swimming sideways. And the water in the swimming pool was okay, but as they kept moving to their left side, some are swimming straight, others are swimming sideways, the water became murky, little greyish. And seemingly they didn't observe, but I was having a bird's eye view from above, and I was getting concerned because they are not keeping the line and length. They are moving across and the water was getting murkier. And then sometimes it was so murky or darker, I hardly recognized the child there. Then what I didn't expect happened. Suddenly they began to fall over because they had crossed some invisible thing, and there was a dark water gush from going in the opposite direction, and on it was written, before they got to the dark thing, I could see what's written, Whirlpool of Compromise, and they were crossing the Whirlpool of Compromise, and suddenly they fell over an edge and the water was rushing in the opposite direction, and on it was written, the River of Death. Then I understood that their soul that knew God's ways in their small days, a time came they were swimming across a whirlpool of compromise, but it was not that wide. Soon they went over the edge into a river of black death. So it warned me. I shared this with the young people, and they were all very moved. They had realized their lives were going astray. Earlier in their younger days, they had known the Good Shepherd. Their parents were godly people. So I want to make a check on you. How is your soul? If your soul is not getting well, how would you know? And if your kid's soul is not getting well, how would you know that they are swimming across, not to the target set, and it is a whirlpool of compromise? the winds and waves. Water is getting wavy and also dark, and then going over the edge. We don't want that to happen to any one of our children. We don't want that to happen to us. So we want to be able to read through the psalm and say, you formed me, wonderful are your works. My frame was not hidden. I was made in secret, skillfully wrought. Your eyes have seen my unformed substance. In your book were all written, the days that were ordained for me. So we are living out of a book, God's scope, God's script, God's scroll. I explained this to you that we are God's poem. Ephesians 2:10 says, we are God's poema. We are God's handwriting. We are God's song. We are God's artwork. We are God's handicraft. And our life and our talent and our ability becomes a tool of God to get another person in the right direction. Shall we live for this? I am Dr. Lalith Mendis, and my clips are available for spirituality, science and reason. If you would send me a WhatsApp to +94 74 211 5011, I'll be able to send what you ask for. Also, I have an app you can download, Golden Nuggets. Download free of cost from Google or App Store. So this Good Shepherd is the one who can keep our line and length. With him is the way of life. And he is the way, the truth and the life. He is the Prince of Life. When the course of this world and the finger of an enemy is distracting us, he helps us to go on the way that produces the good result, the good reward. God bless you.